There we go. Good morning. Good morning. Or afternoon. Hey, I'm talking to myself. Oh. Hey, I'm talking to myself. Yeah, you're late. If we're going to do a joke, you need to keep up. Hey, I'm talking to myself. Yeah, you're late. Now I'm admonishing myself. Good morning, everybody, or afternoon, or evening, or early morning, or oh my God, why am I up so late today? Just to catch this stream from somebody who's just crazy? We appreciate it. All right, let's see. Chat log. Who do we have here? Kind of on a short leash with my tablet here because, like idiots, we forgot to plug it in last night, so we're sitting at 46%. Fortunately, we remembered to charge our phone up, so hopefully it won't cut out on us the way that it did last time, unexpectedly and rather abruptly. And I've just decided to dispose of the glasses because I always end up taking them off anyway, so. Let's see who's here. SB Netter, hello to you. Roses, good morning. Sorry we haven't been on Instagram yet. Just, you know how it is. Early morning, trying to wake up, rushing. Anyway, Blue Rose, hello. Grace to Grow, hello there. After ordinary, yeah, that's it. Grace that laughs at now. I'm admonishing myself. Yeah, absolutely. Probably just residual memory of our daughter's play last night. She's been very involved in drama and being a thespian in school, in high school. She's in her senior year now, and she's been busting her butt. But this time she got the lead in the play, which was great because she totally deserves it. And she does. It's called A Haunting We Will Go, which is kind of like this. How to describe it? Ghost story, comedy, all these different characters and whatnot. But anyway, she had the lead part, and she just slayed it. I mean, and yeah, obviously, I'm proud dad. Dads are going to compliment their daughters, but we're also highly critical. That comes from data and from Percival, actually. And she has always required us to be absolutely honest with our opinions on, the strengths and weaknesses of her performance, of the plays overall. So we'll give her our unvarnished truth. And but she killed it, slayed it. Oh my God, it was just so hilarious in the way that she threw herself into the character. It's like her first scene. She comes out and she's supposed to be this big Hollywood producer, television producer or something. She comes out with this huge red hat with purple feather boa attached to it, and this, just the mink stole overwrap, and just looking the picture of sophistication and fashion, it's kind of a timeless thing, but she kind of had a 40s-ish thing going on there, but it was great. But that was it was really cool. But anyway, there is one scene in there that's kind of like she's talking to herself frequently, and she's like, "I'm great now. I'm talking to myself," So probably a residual leftover of that. But they've got, oh dear, the next performance they're already auditioning for is Spamalot, I think, and then they'll probably have one or two more after that. And we have attended every one of our kids' performances, whether it's band or choir or theater, and to support them, because we do support them. But that auditorium has the most uncomfortable seats in the world, and it doesn't do us great for our back, but we will gladly sit there and endure the pain to support our kids. And so yeah, there's that. But that was last night. But yeah, she killed it. It was great. So anyway, there's our first little ramble on about the kids. Let's see, Alicia Chiara. Hello, Alicia. How are you doing? As we say, it's 21:50 here. Well, thanks for staying up, you guys. We do appreciate it. So, how is everybody in your corners of the world? There's a lot going on right now. Doesn't seem like any place is safe from the chaos. But we do hope that you guys are are staying safe, and at least as safe as can be, and that, good fortune goes your way, because scary times, let me tell you, if it's not the the global, or the climate change, global warming or whatnot, oh gee, suddenly people are taking that seriously now. Duh. Been telling you this since what, the 60s? Definitely the 70s onwards. But between the climate change and just all the social unrest and everything, for those of you who may be out there fighting the good fight, keep fighting it, because it's only when we let them walk all over, truth and freedom and justice and equality, that evil can't thrive in the daylight. So keep carrying that torch if you guys are, and even if you're not, just keep doing the little things that you can do. Just one comment or one gesture, one smile can literally change a person's life, or at least the day. So smile at somebody unexpectedly. It makes them nervous. Anyway, so there's our thing. See how you guys are. Let's see. Do enjoy when you talk about your family. Grace DeGrow says, thank you. Hello, Oxymoron. Good to see you. Kendra McClure. I'm not sure if you've been on the live stream before. It's getting to where we're having difficulty keeping track of folks, but I don't think that you've seen you. Welcome. Hello from Tennessee there. We're glad. Tennessee's, I think we drove through Tennessee once. I'm not sure. Memory fragment way far in the back. Anyway, don't count on that as reliable. But anyway, welcome, Kendra. Good to see you. Yeah, Grace, it's like, what are we supposed to talk about? It is our family, and that's part of it, because one of the things that you guys have said repeatedly that you want to know about is how our DID affects our family, and how they deal with it, and living with it, and whatnot, and putting up with us and our insanity. And we've before we even started the channel, we laid out limits of what would be shown and what wouldn't be shown. For example, it's like our wife, she's a teacher. She can't be shown on camera. She agreed that, maybe to do like an anonymous Q&A thing. So if any of you guys have any questions that you'd like to ask her, drop them in the comments, or shoot them to us in a DM over Instagram, or hit us up for the email if you're old-fashioned, and let us know. And after we've got a list of maybe 10 or 15 questions, we can twist her arm and get her to do at least a vocal answer type of video, where we obscure for privacy's sake. The kids have been much more open to it, but we do try to respect their privacy, and because we're out here hanging our butts in the wind, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they should. Daughter actress from last night hasn't been shy on being on camera, but we've even tried to keep that down. Like when we film with her, we try to keep things below that head level, just for safety and privacy, because you never know what kind of a kook is going to be out there. So anyway, yeah, we will talk about our family when it's germane, and it also provides a way for us to kind of vent, so thank you. And look, yeah, green today. Mimi's like color, so. Starry Girl, hello, good to see you again. That means that you're still out there and kicking. How's the plan going? Are we still working on things? I know it's frustrating, or we know it's frustrating. Sorry, this is Chris, and everybody else is still kind of groggy or asleep in the back or whatnot. So I may use I a little bit more. I may use I, yeah, okay, there's a, what? No, Netflix, I don't care about Dahmer. No, thank you. I don't want to watch a thing on Jeffrey Dahmer. Although Mindhunters was an interesting, if intense and triggering show, all about the rise of criminal profiling for serial killers and whatnot. Fascinating show, but not for everybody. Starry Girl, just getting out of work. Good for you. You got that job. Excellent. Hello, Naomi. Pretty good. You, Blue Rose. People talking back and forth. Today is my last day at my current job. Okay, so you got one and then apparently got another one. Good. Cool. You are making progress. Proud of you. Keep that up. Okay, Blue Rose, we're okay. Thank you for asking. So Yeah, we're wearing green today because Mimi's been after us too. Or color in our wardrobe because I'm sure you guys have noticed, we're pretty monochromatic. Black. Black. Black is a protective color. But, I've always, or we, data, has always been interested to know whether or not there's a correlation between trauma victims or folks with depression or whatnot and a predominance of wearing just monochromatic colors. Because we feel, at least we always feel safer in black. Purely psychological, but yeah, hence the monochromatic part of our wardrobe. But Mimi is trying to get us to, and Percival as well, because he likes color. But yeah, anyway, now we'll get into the whole who needs clothing next thing, and it's like, oh, it's just impossible to keep everybody happy within our meager budget like everybody else right now. It's like, my God, milk is up to like $4 a gallon. It's like, just buy me the damn cow, please. Of course, then the trouble, they can eat the weeds, and give us milk and whatnot. But the trouble there is we get attached to it and give it a name, and the next thing you know, we have a pet cow in our yard. Might as well throw in a few goats and chickens and, have ourselves a farm. Although, honestly, the way things are going worldwide, it might not be a bad idea to start getting a garden and, starting to decentralize the food source from the global network that is falling apart. Perfect storm of crap. All right, there's the tea out of the way. So if we had a point, don't remember. Color, when used well, helps one look more youthful. Yeah, I don't think anything's going to make us look more youthful. We could dye our hair. We've done that in the past. We were blonde and then kind of darkened a little bit into more of a light brownish in our late 20s, early 30s. And then it just has been steadily going to silver since we hit 40, so I don't know, it looked pretty weird to to do that. I don't know, we'll toy with it maybe one of these days. I don't know, how about you guys? Would you like to see us de-aged, as it was? Okay, let's see here. Naomi, having a corneal inflammation right now, so I'm very slow at reading, typing. Sorry. It's okay. Just listen in then, Naomi. For God's sakes, don't hurt yourself for the sake of a chat. Yeah, that's nasty. We're assuming that you've got medication or something, maybe, hopefully. If not, get some saline or eye drops at least and, rinse it out. Ooh, nasty. Hopefully you've been to the doctor and have an antibiotic. Ophthalmologic drops. Yes, thank you, Data. Okay. Grace. Let's see. Well, Witchy, hello. How are you? Coming into your month here, aren't we? October, very soon. Hello, all you beautiful souls. Story will. Milk is $8 here, and pet cows are great. Are you serious? $8 a gallon? Holy shit! That's like we've got gas over $4 a gallon now. God only knows what it is on your end of the spectrum. It's like, but man, $8 a gallon. Holy crap! Let's see, that's madness. Skyward since last time. Let's see here. Grace to Grow. We just did first major canning project this year. My dear one is a natural. Found he really loves it. Very nostalgic for him. Our grandmother, we used to help her with her canning. And she would put up just about everything. Zucchini, squash, pickles. Oh my God, her pickles were to die for. Oh. There are certain things that if I could that are gone from our life forever, and her pickles were one of them. And oh my God, she made the best goddamn pickles. Actually, funny story. I could tell you a funny one about our grandmother and grandfather. Our grandfather was a very, I don't want to say soft-spoken because he wasn't that way, but men of his generation were, just quiet. They didn't say much, particularly in the family situation because, Wife does the talking, and any smart husband knows that most of the time you should just keep your mouth shut. It's at least it's safest that way. The smart ones will develop what we call a husband alarm, which is when those little warning bells go off after your wife or family members make a statement that could be, it's like, am I going to step into this? Nah, I'm just going to, yes, things like that. It just it saves time. But anyway, my grandfather was a man of a few words, and unless he felt that he had something to say. So that's what makes this all the more funny. So she had just done a batch of pickles, and she was expanding. She would normally do the bread and butter and then the dill, but she decided to experiment with some jalapenos and whatnot, and make a spicy or batch of pickles, and they were great. They were great. Okay, but she would always have Grampy try the batches first. And I remember it was after dinner because we were there and eating dinner. It was at the end of dinner, and she brought out the can. She's like, here, Charlie, I want you to try this new batch of pickles. And so she opens the mason jar and pulls one out and gives it to him. And he, looks at it, picks it up, gives a little sniff, puts it in, bites, and just doesn't say a word. Doesn't say a word. Okay. But his face was like, as it's like he's just getting progressively redder and redder and redder, and the tears were starting to come out. And she's just looking at him this whole time with the expectantly, how is it look? And he just, well, Mom, that's a pickle, as he's like, you could almost see the steam coming out of his mouth. The poor guy, he that's a pickle, yeah, there you go. Happy memory from the youth. They're not all bad. And in fact, that's actually something that we've been trying to do lately. Our old therapist suggested this way back, but we were not in the space to either process or appreciate this, which was to go back and, as well as exploring the trauma memories or the unhappy memories, try to find, even if it's with your abusers, try to find those happy moments that may stand out, because we can draw strength from those, not because we need it there, but they're those outstanding spots of normality, or where things were good or less bad than they were. And by remembering them, we can help to break, or at least buffer, cushion against the surge of the traumatic memories and the flashbacks and things, and use those to help kind of divert a bit. So there's that, and our thoughts on that. So let's see. So funny story. Let's see. Stargirl says, yeah, new job is close by and I get to do what I love. Excellent. Great news. Great forward. Yay. See what can happen? Keep at it. Keep at it. Each small step adds up. Eat that elephant. Proud of you. Okay, let's see here. Canning is a great skill. Yes, it is. Grace to grow. That's a win for sure, Stargirl. Absolutely. Naomi's saying, yep, cream and med 5 times a day for the eye, but everything is still blurry on my strong eye. Yeah, it'll take your vision a while to correct. We had a sty once that was pretty nasty, and oh man, that is just uncomfortable. It's like you really want to pop the bastard, but you can't, and it's on the inside of your eyelid. It's like, oh god. Okay, so let's see. Kendra McClure saying, no, never been on your live stream before. Okay, well, welcome, and welcome to the channel. Not sure how long you've been around or lurking or whatnot. We got about 15 people here. Most of them are the old timers, but we'll go over the rules for anyone who might be new and might be lurking, and for you, Kendra. And there's not a lot of them. First off, you may see already there's kind of a difference with our streams from other folks. It's not so much about us, but it's kind of a group forum where we all share our experiences with DID or the dissociative conditions, what tips and tricks that we've had. It's kind of like we say, the classical Greek idea of a forum where everybody expresses their experiences for the greater good. So it's more like that rather than a Q&A, but of course, feel free to ask us anything you'd like. We'll happily answer. If we're not comfortable, we'll let you know. But as our longtime viewers can attest to, there's really not much that we won't answer or won't cover if we're asked. So there's that, and here are the rules. You have the right to your opinion. You have the right to state your opinion. You do not have the right to abuse other people with your opinion. Don't troll us. Don't start crap. Don't try to be cutie or stir the pot or bring politics or religion into this. Just to cause trouble, if you do, and we're not just speaking just you, Kendra, but everybody who might be out there, we have mods. Hello, Rosa's there, and she'll wave her mighty banhammer and just simply remove you. Our streams are pretty quiet, so those are the rules. Basically, it's just common manners, mind your P's and Q's, and don't make trouble. So with that, welcome to the channel. Always feel free to check out our old content, because there's a lot of good stuff back there. And as always, don't be afraid to comment or ask questions or anything. So back to the chat. Let's see here. Oxymoron, Stargirl's very cool. Began to learn how to train service dogs, so soon that I get what I love too. Excellent. That, and thank you for doing that, Oxymoron, because there's a lot of disabled folks out there, or differently abled. I don't remember what we say anymore. Disabled folks. We'll go with what we learned, and no offense intended. Boy, we're kind of hyper today. I wonder who's mixing in. Let's see here. But yeah, service dogs, excellent. Witchy, it was my nanny's pumpkin pie, nothing better. Oh, yeah, well, yeah. She made some grape jam once from some wild fruit, wild grapes, sorry, yeah, obviously it's fruit. She made some jelly from some wild grapes that my grandfather and I found when we were fishing once, and or rather he was fishing and we were talking his ear off most likely and whatnot. We loved him a great deal, still do. But yeah, oh man, that was the best grape jelly. So yeah, absolutely, pumpkin pie, those things. I should make that. Hello, Cajun out of water. You should make those pickles again if I can find the recipe. I've never tried to actually can pickles. Right now in like Walmart, they've got like instant pickle stuff, and you add cucumbers and throw it in a jar with this brine, and it makes pickles in about like 3 days. They're actually pretty good, but they don't last as long. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll learn to can again and revise an old skill. Yeah. Rosa's is basically, okay, yeah, Rosa's covers it, yeah. Which is why we have her. Most of the times we should just look at the chat log. She's probably already covered it for us. Witchy, okay, so Glacier and Closer getting out of there. Now you got a job talking to Starry Girl. Excellent. Yeah, those small steps. Let's see. Blue Rose is saying they've been on a long waiting list for a service dog, so thanks for doing that. Yeah, absolutely. Star Girl's got a job lined up for Wednesday. That is, yeah, so happy for you, Star Girl. Absolutely, absolutely. Let's see here. Rosa, so what we're hearing is you need to make a batch of pickles. No. I do not need to make a batch of pickles. Rosemarie needs to make the pickles, because if anybody's going to have a hope in hell of having them come out to be a success, it's going to be her. So yeah, I'll put that on her mental noteboard for when she, anyway, I'll let her know later. Dragons, hey, good to see you. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, yeah, see, Roses agrees, make a batch of those pickles. Hi, Dragons. Yes, we saw Dragon. Oxymoron, yes, I'm so happy at the moment. Found a therapist recently. Excellent. I get to work with dogs, and they're humans, so I can get back to working and making some money. That is excellent. So happy you found a therapist. Oh my God, we still haven't been able to. Every damn time that we call our clinic to try to find one, we can't even get our case manager on the damn phone, and every time that we call, we have a new one. It's like, so we're doing our best to get through. No, and actually, we're actually pretty proud of ourselves, because we just got through a major trauma bubble of John's stuff, as you might have guessed from our programming this past month. But we did it using our tools and all that. And it's like we had a couple of shitty days out of it, where it was kind of touch and go of falling into the flashbacks. But we're actually proud of ourselves because we managed to get through it. And with the flashbacks, we kind of tentatively started trying something new, which was instead of just fighting them or trying to push them or letting them, well, not that you have any choice when they kick in and they want to overwhelm you, but it's like poking at a sore tooth or something. It's like it's going to hurt, but you can't help. Anyway, so we've been kind of trying to do that with when we feel a trauma bubble well up, is not let it overwhelm us, but it's like, okay, instead of fighting this, I'm just gonna go with the flow for a minute, and if it starts to get too intense, just pull back. And that seems to have been successful. One of our other viewers, we don't remember who it was, in one of the comments asked us, if well, we were talking about Christmas trauma, but she said, have you ever sat with, the trauma in that way? And we think that this is what they were referring to. So I guess we're starting to learn to sit with it, to kind of, it's like blowing up a balloon, it's like letting the air out a little bit at a time before the trauma balloon goes but we still got the sleep paralysis and everything else. And yes, we are going to do part 2, but sorry, this month was like system upset chaos month. So we did not get anywhere near the stuff that we wanted to get done. We still have to go in with surgery on it for our foot because we got it all scheduled. We might have already covered this last month, not sure. But we got it all scheduled, got the surgery scheduled, we're ready. We're going in there for the next day. And they call us like literally hours before we're supposed to go in. Your potassium levels are too low to undergo general anesthesia. So we've had to eat bananas and take potassium supplements. We got to go in for new blood work on Monday so that they can try to schedule the thing, but because it's going to be a general anesthesia, we have to schedule it around our wife's work schedule, which is insanely difficult to do because she can't take any time off without there being like major repercussions to her job. And let me tell you guys, if you think that teachers have it easy, you're wrong, okay? Teachers are some of the most hardest working, underpaid, underappreciated people on the face of the earth. And they need more respect and more funding, not derision and parents thinking that they're glorified babysitters. Anyway, mini rant over. Where were we? Let's see here. Heck. We forgot where we were going. Sorry. We're like... Oh yeah, proud of ourselves for letting the trauma bubble off and trying to do that. So yeah, we're still managing with the tools that we learned and putting them to use, and so far we've managed that. But yeah, this month's been a struggle for us. It's just various things all hitting at the same time. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so Blue Rose says that's interesting, Chris. For those for us, those less bad memories tend to spin us into denial. That's when you just have to go to remind yourself, trauma doesn't lie. Do you have the trauma? Are you experiencing the effects of the trauma that don't have any other underlying cause in your life? I mean, yeah, everybody's stressed out. And do these things seem fantastical sometimes? Yes, absolutely. We still experience episodes where it's like, did this really happen? And we just, that is the brick wall that we hit, and that has been our bulwark basically against the denial, is trauma doesn't lie. And it's like Vanderkolk goes into this in great detail. The body keeps the score. It is all imprinted on our body. These patterns and these experiences, they are there, indelibly etched. For anybody who can see them to see, but because we're in that box, we don't see them. But yeah, the denial can be tough. So hopefully that will work for you. If not, try to find something to remind yourself, no, this isn't just, I'm not just making this up. So yeah. But we do understand where you're saying with some of the positive memories can spill into that, because we have one that's exactly that with egg donor, where we're going for a walk with her, and we remember this one clearly. We go to the library and we meet, well, anyway, it's the details don't matter, but we go happy memory at the library, meet a little girl, walking home with them and their mommy, and blank. Blank. So yeah, that's we understand. So it's like you get that crawly feeling on your back now and knowing what you know. But and that's another thing that we have to guard against, or at least that we've been trying to guard against, is not reading too much into some of these anomalies or incidents in your past, because it can be easy to lose that perspective again and start, seeing the abuse everywhere. And yeah, it's prevalent and it's out there and it's there, but it doesn't saturate everything an amazing amount. I mean, we're really coming to grips with the realization that our entire lives we've been living according to a set of trauma reactions in the way, and that we can't pick up on social cues. It's like, for example, we can't tell a lot of the time, honestly, when our wife is making a joke. So we trigger automatically into that defensive mode. What have we done wrong? We have to make this right. It's like and we're caught in that, and she has to remind us, it's okay, honey, I'm joking, but we lack those social cues because we're constantly on the defense, on the high alert. So we're constantly looking to minimize any possible danger. And that has been the way that we've lived our whole life, and we haven't realized it. So now we're having to, okay, stop that internal dialogue, tell ourselves, okay, what is the story that we're telling ourselves? Why are we reacting this way? And is that present? Is that threat? And all of this is going through our mind at a fraction of a second. And, so we've got the, oh my God, what did we do wrong? Response versus the, okay, stop. It's this is the internal struggle we go through, but because we lack those clues, those contextual clues, because we've been living in that heightened trauma sense, because all of those patterns, it's almost impossible for us to relax without the aid of, alcohol or other stimulants and things, which, is the trap that we've covered before. But it's rare that we're actually able to relax and come down off of that. And we're only now realizing just how pervasive it's been. But to come back to the point is, with those good memories, you need to explore those as well, and don't go looking for patterns that are most likely there anyway. You see what we're saying? We're just blathering. So we will go up and chat here. Okay, so yeah, Blue Rose, those less bad memories can lead into the denial and whatnot, but just try to take it as a balance. Hope that helps. Let's see here. Stargirl, new job is at a place they frequent every month or so. So it's know what it's really well and know what it's like. Excellent. Yeah, if you feel comfortable there, that helps a great deal. Let's see. What she's saying, just getting rid of a bottom lid STI. I'm not, but I'm sorry, I'm STI. It's not clicking right now. I'm not sure what that is. So, sorry. Let's see. Lisa, hello. Good to see you. Naomi's saying the eye inflammation is like more blurry and somebody trying to pull the eye out of its socket. Ew. Yes. Ow. Nasty. Well, let's see. Blue Rose being happy for oxymoron sounds really valuable for both and the people you'll help. Absolutely. Again, we see so many trauma victims and folks who have undergone these difficulties choosing to turn around and help and become, helpers, therapists, techs, things like that. It's just probably because we know it better than anybody else. So, but it shows our amazing strength. And when I say our, I mean everybody, all of you guys as a group, and those who choose to do that. So yeah, yay. Boy, we're all over the place today. Okay, let's see. Rosa's disabled is absolutely correct. Okay. Because it was differently abled for a while, and I don't know. Anyway, so we'll go with disabled. Like us. Okay, but not according to the U.S. government. Because we're not self-harming and we haven't, been in for a overnight or admittal or self-admit or whatnot. It's like, want to freak us out? Yeah. Put us in one of those. Mm-hmm. And to be dead honest, there has been several times when we've considered it's like, okay, maybe we really need to do a self-admittal inpatient to, get just, it's when, but now we thought about it, at least once this month, but it's just, we're afraid, there's several things. We're afraid of it. We know that environment is just going to trigger us right the hell out, or data will take over the front completely and be Mr. completely rational and logical and everything, and which could lead to God only knows what. It's like, it's not that he would tell them what they would want to hear, but I mean, it's to him, it's the frustration of knowing what our condition is and knowing more than the people who would likely be helping us there, so there's a lot that goes into it. There's fear and a lot of different things, and not wanting to put the burden on our family, and there's also the humiliation that would come with that, and it may not be warranted, but it would be for us an admittal that we are not capable of controlling this on our own, and we're not, okay, but it's kind of a squiggly point. I don't know. We're just trying to be completely honest on a really complex issue. So yeah, disbelief. Okay, asked to drop the QC. Okay, euphemisms. Okay, good to know. Let's see. The turnover of case managers and therapists in Arizona is pretty bad right now. Yeah, pretty much all over the country, I would guess. I know it's bad where we are. Let's see. Oh, Chris, let Mimi know I loved her video, Witchy. Thank you. We will we'll pass that along. I knew we were going to get to this. Okay, well, let's check the chat before we get into Mimi. Okay, let us catch up here real quick. Let's see. Rosa's Jesus, the case manager, musical chairs is absolutely the most maddening thing. Yes, searching for a good therapist is hard. Ours is a man. We aren't still sure if we can really work with him. Yeah, same here. I think at this point, if we got a male therapist, just to get a therapist, we would take it. But we got real comfort issues around men. Let's see. Sorry, girl. Yeah, Mimi's video really made us think. Hope she's doing okay. We will get to that in a minute. Signal Legion, hellly, we caught a live while it's still live. It's good to see you guys. Let's see. Kendra McClure, Roses, welcome. Yeah, I think that Signal already knew those, but that's cool. Lisa, location out of order. Sorry, my work. The wife is in the chat. Psh, duh. Hello, everyone. Cajun out of water. That's our wife. You're sitting in on us, and I don't know why we didn't catch that before, because we're scattered and we're morons. So yeah. Well, it wouldn't change what we said anyway. But hi, honey. So yeah. What? It's okay, Chocho. It's okay. All right. Did you want back out? All right. He wakes up suddenly and gets like these disoriented meowing things. So let's let him out. What you want, buddy? Do you want out? You've been napping in the sunshine. Here you go. Oof, there we go. And actually, honey, aren't you supposed to be watching those educational videos? Naughty, naughty. No, my God, she's told us she has like 12 hours worth of these educational training things. Yeah, here we go back talking about teachers again. And now that I know that she's actually in the chat, it makes my rant before, all the more telling. Wasn't doing it deliberately for points because I didn't know you're here. But anyway, she's got this stuff, and it's just, this guy is just dreadfully boring. It's kind of like the Bueller. This is this, and it's like, just, I feel so sorry for her. It's like we came out this morning, and she puts our tea water on for us, kisses us good morning and everything, and it's like, okay, either you're sick, you're tired, or you got allergies. She's like, no, I've been watching those videos. I'm like, we're like, oh, okay, so your brain has liquefied and is pouring out of your ears. We get it. It's like, again, teachers do a lot that people don't see. So yeah, okay, back to the chat before we get to Mimi. So give us a sec to check up here. We're gonna go short. Okay, let's see here. Yeah. She's saying, yeah, okay, we are back. Sorry, work schedule isn't saying there's no subs to cover me if I needed it off. It's okay, honey. We understand. We're just letting them know they want to hear about these things. Let's see. Hanu, hello. Don't think we've seen you before. Welcome. Let's see. 38 years old when flashbacks and trauma balloon burst. Yeah. Welcome. Sorry. We're catching behind. Welcome. Basically, mind your manners in the chat. Ask any questions you want. Share any experiences that you may have. Them's the rules, basically. Okay, so let's see here. Rosa's favorite teacher used to tell us that he was paid literally tens of dollars. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, yeah, you've been talking here while we've been rambling. Tells her students that are paid in peanuts. It makes for great peanut butter. One student seriously thought I was paid with peanuts, and I had to explain I was joking. We do have an extremely large amount of peanut butter in the closet, but or the pantry. Kendra was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder back in 2011. My experience is often mistaken for DID. Yeah, it is, and we're kind of actually surprised that, well, they were saying that we were borderline at first. But it's the DSM-5 lays out very specific criteria for DID. Basically, it comes down to the time losses and the different separate personality states. There's several other things data would be able to tell you. Yes, I feel you. It's not germane to the conversation. Thank you. Please stop pushing. But yeah, BPD is often, and keep in mind, it's the theory of structural dissociation. You are on the second level with BPD. There's PTSD, and then you've got CPTSD, BPD, OSDD 1A, and however many variants they have for that now. And then at the bottom, you've got DID, which has all of the after effects of those above. So yeah, it's you're definitely there. So you can see where it can be confused because a lot of the symptoms are comorbid. They go along with it. With each tier, you've got everything that the tier above you has. So let's see. Witchy says that they're differently abled instead of disabled. Okay, good. You actually remember that as well. Roses is currently leading Gabor Mate's latest book, which is basically, no, really, trauma doesn't lie. Yeah, Vanderkolk nailed it. Absolutely. We would very much like to just meet the gentleman at some point and just shake his hand and say, thank you. You have no idea how much this has helped. Data's kind of got like an intellectual crush. Yeah, fanboy. Let's see, Witchy, have a good memory. Come forward. I end up getting an overwhelming scene of loss and anger because I'll have them happy to. Yeah, I hear you. Witchy, the other way, I was always picked on with other kids and sisters. Always assume people are making fun when they could be joking. Feel I've done something wrong. Can really relate. Yeah, it's because we're switched on into that sense danger mode. Constantly in overdrive. We've been trained that we can't relax because danger could come at any minute. So it's ingrained into the body, into the reactions, literally. So yeah, and understanding that can help you be a little more forgiving with yourself, or at least make you more aware. Because then we fall into the guilt, blame, shame spiral. Let's see, Grace to Grow, trying to understand flashbacks is very challenging, and mind blanks gaps are daunting. Yeah, they're scary as hell, particularly the time losses. It's like we'll be doing something 1 minute, or I'll be doing something 1 minute, and then the next thing I know, 45 minutes, 5 to 45 minutes are past, or I'm in another room doing something completely different, or I'm standing there wondering why the hell I came in here, but I don't remember coming in there. So, I mean, fortunately, we haven't had any day long or really long ones, at least not since the one where Christopher took over for a day and a half, 2 days, but that was early on. We really haven't had any of those since then, but we do get a lot of those blips. So yeah, Grace to Grow, really appreciate your comments about finding happy memories to combat traumatic ones. That's definitely been a huge part of my DO's validation was past. Not so black and white. Yeah, it's a mixed bag. It is. There's a lot of gray in there. Kendra is talking about the BPD and DID, exactly what we already said. Let's see. Naomi's saying that they wish they could get a service dog, but according to the psychiatrist, given that my dad wasn't killed in front of me and didn't pass because of me, I have no trauma. Therefore, I don't need a service. I'm sorry, no words. Yeah, the expression just says it all. Okay, Oxymoron saying, I went to mental hospital several times. Well, in Germany, none of that was good. They did not know much about DID. We were triggered the whole time, and so much time is missing. We came back really destroyed. No good for us. I would only go there again if I absolutely have no other idea left. Now, yeah, now you see, that's basically our deepest fears. You just encapsulated them right there. And I mean, we don't know for sure that it wouldn't be a bad experience. I mean, just going in to be diagnosed and to get, initially for the anger outburst that we were having, that was a scary as hell experience. We were expecting to go in and be locked into a padded room. Turns out it wasn't anything like that. So there's a definite media bias that you have to overcome. But yeah, you just encapsulated our fears nicely there. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. But thanks for sharing that, Oxymoron. You encapsulated that very neatly. Naomi, but my therapist is disagreeing with this. It's amazing. Yeah. If you want a dog, what's the problem? Okay, nice to see you in the chat. Yes, there she is. Hi, baby. Taking a break from training videos, but you'll be glad to know the body keeps the score came up in trauma video training again. Yes, and I forgot to share that with you guys. One of the training videos that she did a slide presentation, she forwarded it to us because this guy came in and he was talking about the body keeps the score and referenced it, and she was like, I thought you'd be interested in this because the guy really seemed to know what he was doing, and Data's like, yes, well, I'll give it a look, and he did. He watched it, we watched it, and he was impressed. And it takes a lot to impress Data. This guy really knew what the hell he was talking about there. So it was really good that he felt that the teachers, at least in our area, are getting this kind of information finally, where they can spot, these signs and maybe go, okay, this might be a cause. But anyway, getting that information out there is vitally important. And thank you, honey, for reminding us of that, because we totally forgot to share that with them. So yes, okay, everybody's saying hello to wife. Let's see. Maldwin, hello. Man, we haven't seen you in a while. Quietly lurking and watching the stream, sending lots of love from us all. Lots of love right back to you. It's good to see you. Good to know that you're out there and doing well. Let's see here. This can be educational. It's not doing that again. Okay, hi everyone. Glad to be here for the RT. Welcome. Let's see, for live chat this time. Yeah, absolutely. Got a lot of new folks here. Welcome. Basically, the rules are this: mind your manners. Don't stir up crap, and share your experiences, ask questions. It's more of an open forum where everybody shares their experiences. So welcome. Check it out. Same thing for the content on the channel, basically. Don't be afraid to ask questions, comment, feel free. We're very open. Let's see. Ellie is saying, wow, it's already been a month. And welcome. Good to see you again. How's your time passage? It has indeed been a month. Totally haven't felt like one. I agree. Let's see. Ellie's saying Google says something about it means time and GPS. Hasn't felt like one. No, I remember being here last time, but don't remember the in between now and then. Yeah. Ellie mainly stressed with school. Slowly getting over it. Just getting accustomed to keeping up with homework and due dates. Yeah, reading is the worst thing with this disorder, because I dissociate away and then I have to read it over and over again until I make sure that I get it right. Yeah, we've done that in the past. Just you'll end up reading the same damn paragraph like 4 times. Let's see. Ellie, our wife is asking, do you have a specific place in your home for schoolwork that's free from distractions and a schedule set up on your phone or elsewhere to help you manage your time? This might help you shift your perspective to learning when you're in that space. No comments. Wife is expert. She's right. Okay, so I think that we've actually caught up on the chat. Which means that we can go back and answer. Starry Girl, about Mimi. Yeah, so Mimi, um, just where to go with this. Okay, first off, despite her saying so in the video, Mimi was not in any trouble. Okay, and she wasn't going to be in any trouble. We think that that's basically a part of the whole manifestation and the patterning as well, because remember, she is a trauma victim. She is an EP, whether she likes to admit it or not, which apparently she has no problems admitting all over the place before we're ready. But no, she did not get in any trouble. Me, Data, everybody. I suppose Data, okay, it doesn't really matter who sets the policy, but we've always believed that the channel should be an open place for all of our alters to do whatever it is that they want to do and have their say. Mimi had not been out in a long while. There's a number of factors that go into it. I will freely admit that it is weird and uncomfortable for me to surrender that control, to surrender the control of the body and the consciousness, because even it's like a small germ of me is there, but it's like we've explained this before, where the memories like just drain away and all of a sudden they're gone. Now, whether or not this is a willing thing, Mimi says that she takes them deliberately. Several of you have said that your alters can do the same thing. Memory withdrawal or thought withdrawal. That's actually, we do that in our passive active influence video. We do cover that, so no doubt that's what's going on. But it's weird and it's uncomfortable for me to surrender that control to her, and to a lesser extent Rosemarie. There is no question that they're female, but and maybe part of this is just when I was raised. It's still, no guy would get caught dressing up in drag unless he was gay, or it was part of a joke, or it was Halloween or something, and even then that would be touchy. So we were really kind of taught to suppress our feminine natures, the metrosexual. Fortunately, this has drastically changed over time, but it's still not to the point, particularly where we're at, where the girls can dress up and go out to the store or do a thing without us running extreme risk of having the crap beat out of us. So yeah, that's one part of it. Part of it is also finding time for everybody, because there's the mundane stuff that we have to do, and then everybody has a project that they want to do, and generally in the evening after we're done with dinner and dinner's over and we've walked the cats, then we're in that point where, okay, we're basically done with the things that we need to do once we've packed wife's lunch and made coffee for her for the next day. It's okay. What are we going to do? And that's when everybody immediately starts in with, well, this needs to be done. Bootstraps has to do this, and Rosemarie wants to do this, and this needs to be cleaned and that. And Percival's like, well, I want to, go over the next books for the little stories or things like that. And it's just this, and I'm just there in the middle. And they're all, and I'm just like, guys, we need to. So we actually end up spending at least an hour just wandering around, flitting, because they can't decide who the hell wants to do what. And I mean, it's like sometimes the body hurts. I mean, because we're in chronic pain to begin with, and this damn foot. So we've got our back, our feet. It's just everything. And it's just excruciating. And I mean, we've had chronic pain for a long time, but it's like, it's exhausting. And then they get going, and it's like, okay, it's like, Bootstraps, I'm sorry, but we're not going to go clearing out the shrubbery when we've got this foot and it's going fire with things poking through it. So yeah, it can be very frustrating to make that time for her. And Mimi does float around a lot in the headspace. She's pretty far up front most of the time, just kind of observing. Generally when we're, listening to music or something like that, she'll just kind of eavesdrop, as it was. So part of it is also that she hasn't been willing to fully, or push enough to fully front that way. So she did not get in any trouble. Did it cause some Difficulty for the system? Yeah, because we have been proceeding on a very measured pace about our trauma with you guys. I mean, we've been very blunt, as we put it to 5 Pieces of 9. On one of her comments, we've kind of shown you the edges of our trauma dance floor, and Mimi just basically went and took you guys and threw you straight into the mosh pit. In her blunt, absolutely truthful, no bullshit, flat out way. That's how she is. She's not afraid to look at that crap because that's what she was. She took more than one for the team, as to use an uncomfortable euphemism there. And now, see, here's the thing: she doesn't have a problem talking about it. She's like completely. It's like you guys are saying, and she thanks you guys for your sympathies and everything, but she's reading your, and it's like, I'm so sorry. And those are all valid things, but to her it's like, it's like she's discussing what happened at school or something. She is so uncomfortably matter of fact about the trauma and everything that we went through, and she could tell you in excruciating detail, I mean more excruciating than what she did on the video, about exactly what we went through, wrote in verse. She could tell you the whole process from A to Z, and how we were taken in, and how the organization worked, and how you were trained, and everything else. But we had basically had a course of where we would, deal with these issues one at a time. And, instead of just doing a makeup or video or whatnot, Mimi decided to go, I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about, and went and spilled basically a huge chunk of our trauma, which actually was kind of good because we discovered a few things in rewatching that we didn't know about. So it's like, thanks for that. But we're not surprised, because the trauma bubble that we were dealing with and was bursting, and we were trying to minimize as best we could, was exactly that weekend with the club. It's been poking up, and we've been dealing with it for a long time, and we know that's that's one of the pivotal moments for our system there, because that's when oh boy, you guys know, we've she talked about it, and we've been alluding to it. So no, she didn't get any trouble. Were we happy that she kind of went bleh? It's like Data and I were kind of like, oh God, no. But it was and me as the editor, where I'm editing it, it's like the temptation to just go delete, cut, delete, was very strong there. But I did not do that, other than the profanity, because anyway, she swears voluminously and quite creatively at times. But other than just cutting that out, that was just Mimi, unfiltered. I could not take away her voice, or minimize that in any way, shape, or form. Otherwise, I would be a hypocrite. I would be a hypocrite, and particularly in her eyes, because and that was part of what she did, and we know that she did it that way, because you have to remember, she's a teenage girl, and that's part of that is defiance, particularly around 12 and 13. And kids are, let me tell you, as a father and a parent, teenagers will detect the slightest whiff of hypocrisy and jump all over you for it, and rightfully so. So this was kind of like a test for her. It's like, okay, you say I'm a system member, you say this is, my time, I can do whatever I want. Okay, put up or shut up. I'm going to talk about something that's really uncomfortable for you, that you guys may not want to talk about, because you've been going in the headspace and everything, and it's my turn to talk. Because unfortunately, it was her turn to talk, or getting very nearly there, when our therapist just basically abruptly decided to dump us. So she's, as you can see, pretty pissed still at therapist. But yeah, that now our trauma, more or less, and a lot more details than we had been. Like I said, we kind of wanted to deal with it in one manner, and she just kind of went. Bleh. But it's like, okay, so it was one of those put up or shut up things, particularly for me being the editor. But that's Mimi, and that's unfiltered. So thank you for sticking with us. We're not going to apologize for it, because again, that would be being a hypocrite. But did it cause some upset in the system? Yes. But that's also another thing. It's like, okay, are you going to punish me now? It's another one of those catch you in your hypocrisy things. And it's like, no. And a part of it is also the trauma programming. And we're like, no, we're not going to do that. So she's kind of been, you're not going to do anything? You're actually going to listen to me? It's like, it's like, hello, colored shirt today. So it's like, she's like, yeah, apparently all I have to do is bitch and spill everything to get some respect around here. And it's like, that's not entirely true, and you know it. So there has been some discussion in the headspace. Yes, it did kind of way drastically accelerate our planned out list of subjects that we want to cover, and we're still going to cover them. But yeah, that was more of an information fire hose than we were planning on giving. But again, that's Mimi, and we are going to, now that we've given her that freedom and she knows that she is not going to be punished for doing that, hopefully she'll settle down and realize that it's valid, that she's valid, and maybe be out a little bit more for you guys. We'll see. So thank you for her for your kind comments with her and for us. And that's basically sorry, too many folks coming and going. But that's basically it. So yeah, our programming kind of got hijacked. We were hoping to do part 2 of the Echoes of Darkness about the sleep paralysis. I mean, it's scripted. I've got a couple of graphics to finish up, but other than that, and we were planning on doing that, but that just kind of zapped our energy, and just dealing with that was kind of like, okay, let's get back on the proper track here. But it took us a while, so sorry for the delay. We will have that out next, very next thing, we promise. Probably next week, because we got some, okay, next week or the week after that, because next week is full with medical and adulty crap. So that's all about Mimi and that. So let's get back to the chat, because I've been seeing a lot of them roll by. Okay, so wife was giving advice about studying areas. Yes, here we are. Shift perspective. Ellie's saying that they have the computer and the tablet. With tablet, I lay down to try to read, but that never goes well. Computer works better because sitting up. Yeah, this Friday is dentist again for root canal, and then later next week is a crown. Hopefully it's so much better pain-wise than the wisdom teeth were. Yeah, tough to concentrate when you want somebody to blow your head off. Let's see. Wife is saying, since laying down usually involves sleeping or relaxing while doing other things like reading a book or watching TV, laying down to work is probably not the best idea. Set up a visual cue around your computer like a curtain or a set of books that you move into place, so when you see it, you know it's time to learn, which is basically what our wife has done. She's got her desk in the sitting room there, her room, and kind of has it in a little L, so she has her own little cubicle, as it were. Not a cubicle, but the nice bookshelfy area. It's a nice desk. And she's got all of her little knickknacks, her baby Yoda. She loves the baby Yoda, or the child, whatever you, Grogu, whatever you want to call him. She loves them. She's got like 13, 14, 15 little baby Yoda things. That's her thing. Let's see here. So let's see. Ellie's also making plans for traveling to see family in another state for Christmas. Just worried about dead named and seeing abuser a lot. Yeah. Yeah, we're starting to move into that trauma-versary holiday period of the year. Yeah, right around October, things start to tighten up towards Halloween and whatnot. Unfortunately, we've learned to deal with holidays better because we realize the trauma reactions and are now looking out for them before they happen. So, but we're working on that, trying to relax part and bring that the stress response cycle down. But yeah, we're starting to get there. So we feel you, Ellie. And all of you else who have traumaversaries around the holidays and will be struggling. Yes. Didn't have the foot surgery. Lisa, did anything Mimi shared surprise you? Yeah. Yeah. No, like I said, she made a couple of comments there that it was like, okay, what? You're what happened now? And I've rewatched it probably 3 or 4 times now going through. And for those of you who haven't or want to rewatch it, she recommends watching it on 1.5 speed because it sounds more like her. Because we were watching it, she was like, "This doesn't sound like anything like me. I speak way more fast than that." And so it's like, okay, well, how about this? So it's like, I just put it on the different speed. And she's like, that's much better. So anyway, 1.5 speed. And yeah, she did. There were a couple of just new bits of that weekend of the trauma that she talked about that we're still trying to integrate there. I won't go into details because it would track us anything more. But yes, absolutely, there were things there that we didn't know. Wife, sadly, his potassium levels have been too low. Yeah, it's frustrated for him. Ellie, sorry about having to see him be an abuser. It's never fun. Exactly. Want to see your mom, stepsisters, and sisters and cousins. He just circulates around them, so I still have to see him no matter what. Yeah, one of those that just has to be there and be the center, and yeah, spider in the web. Luckily, there are plans of me sleeping at stepsisters or sister's house, so luckily not home with him at night. Yes, excellent. Good plan. No way to visit them while he's not there. With it being Christmas break, he's probably won't be working at all. He's my stepdad married to my mom, so he's always home if not working. Sorry Girl saying Ellie to being able to sleep separately. The way I've done is trying to keep physical distance and always have someone safe in the room with him. Yeah. Wife is asking if you have someone that you trust or are comfortable with that can be with you for this trip. Let's see. Ellie's saying part of me wants to break down in front of him and just forgive and all that. Try to make amends. No, that's trauma programming right there. That urge is trauma programming. Don't give in to the patterning. Stay strong in that. Trauma doesn't lie. Remember, it's do not give them that victory, or the situation will immediately start to revert. You're putting them back in, or him back into the power over you. You are being subservient to that and reinforcing the abuser-victim relationship and the guilt, blame, shame spiral. We know it's tough. Okay, we had to do this with our egg donor, and we turned every cheek that we had, face and butt cheeks, and then some, to try to patch it up, to try to forgive. And it just, every time we would get sucked right back into that spiral. So stay strong. Okay, it's not easy. We feel you there, but that's your trauma programming right there. That's the patterning. So please don't do that, Ellie. I mean, well, it's your decision, obviously, but our advice would be stay strong. Let's see here. Not for the trip itself, but mom will be there. I trust her. Okay, yeah, here we go. Sorry, girl, you don't have to. Don't break down. It will show him you're still under his thumb. Yes, sorry, that was too far. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't, Starry Girl. We completely 1000% concur. Truth. Abbed with a capital T. Yeah, Ellie's saying, no, you're okay, Starry Girl. Don't be sorry, Starry, you're right. Yep, absolutely. If the wife says you're right, then you can take it to the bank. Not just saying that. She's just has a great perspective. Yes, Cho, I hear you. All right. There. It's open. You can come in. Cat that wants out, wants back in. Where are we at time-wise? About let's see, we started at 1, so about an hour or so. Okay, let's see here. Kendra McClure wants to know, hope this isn't an insensitive, triggering question, but since I've only recently found your YouTube channel, can you tell me how many alters you have and tell me about them? Absolutely. We do go over this in more detail in our first introductory video, You're Telling Me I Have What? So check that out. This is why it's important to go back over our previous programming, because there's a lot there that touches on. It's kind of like a progressive thing, but basically, okay, let's count. There's me, there's Data, Bootstraps, Mimi, Rosemarie, Percival, Nigel, Susie, Christopher D, John, Jack. Did we cover Susie? 12. Arielana, 13. We suspect there might be a couple more, so 12 or 13. Me, I'm the host, core master switchboard for the system. Data, we are co-blended basically 98% of the time. He is the brains, he's the intellect, and no, he is not fictive based off of Star Trek. He is not a positive interject. Data just simply describes what he is and what he does. He is our internal recorder. He is our researcher. If he is the one that basically he does predictive patterning. Is this situation dangerous? He's the one that when we've walked into a room, within 2 seconds, he's made note of everybody's position, what they're wearing, where they're situated, where we can escape, where's the safest place to sit. He's responsible for doing all of the research on the educational stuff that we present for you, making sure that our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed and that we're presenting factual stuff. Half the time we can't understand some of the stuff that he comes up with. If you guys have followed the links, you know that he reads like doctoral theses and stuff and pulls this info out of him, so more good for him. Bootstraps is he's a protector. He's the guy that's responsible for doing like plumbing, do it yourself, the dirty work that nobody else really wants to do. He's brusque is a good word for it. He's mellowed quite a bit since we found out that we were a system. But he basically, when he comes out, he has a job to do, and anything and anyone that gets in his way of doing that in the most efficient and productive manner possible is an irritant, and he will deal with them that way. It's not that he can be a bit of a dick, and it's not that he's deliberately attacking. It's just, if you're not going to help me, stay the fuck away. So that's him. But since working together and realizing who does what, we've given him more, and he actually asked for timeout. So we're working more with him, and he's actually mellowed quite a bit. Actually, the wife has quite a soft spot for bootstraps, and he actually has one for her as well. Not that he would actually admit it, but it's actually kind of a cute schoolboy kind of crush type of thing, but like older, not creepy anyway. Okay, so that's Boost. Okay, so bootstraps. Mimi, we've already talked about. Mimi is our 13-year-old girl. She's a trauma holder, a tween, whatever you want to call her. She does basically, yeah, we just talked a lot about her. She's basically in 1980 to 1984. That is our time range. We go over this. The way that we work, the alters are basically within their span of time, their bubbles, and that's the way that they perceive the world. This is the way our DID works. We go over it a lot. Okay, so we've got Mimi, then we have Rosemarie, who is patterned after our grandmother, who was very basically 1940s, 1950s housewife. That's what Rosemarie does. She does all the cooking. She'll front sometimes to cook completely, but most of the time she'll just simply, switch to the front when we're cooking or when I'm not cleaning it up. And she does let me cook. I'm actually fairly decent at it, but anyway, I do mess things up. Wife and family have had to endure some barely edible meals out of me, but most of the time she does the cooking. All right, so we got Rosemarie. We have Arielana, who she's basically the only fictive we have as it is, but she's not based off of any. She's an elf. She likes to grow things, plants, and weave the tree branches on the jubilees that we've got out in our porch, and she really doesn't front or talk much. She just kind of influences from the back. She keeps the glade, which is where the littles, primarily Christopher and Susie, live, hang out, which is an isolated area. It's a glade. It's a forested type shire area where she keeps the littles safe. Okay, so there's Arielana. We've covered Rosemarie. We've covered Mimi. Jack. Jack is our libido. Jack was one of the three. Okay, let's just take it in order from birth onwards. Christopher, okay, our littlest. Susie, Christopher D, possibly several more in through there. Then we have Christopher D. He just watched Mimi's video for what happened there. At that day, we were basically split into three. Christopher D couldn't handle it, and we became, through the conditioning and the training and also the trauma, John, and Jack, opposite sides of the coin. John is the good boy, the meek one, the passive, the submissive, and we're talking emotionally and sexually as well, because she's already admitted it. John and Jack were created to serve two different types of clients, okay? Primarily older rich women. Anyway, that's about all we'll go with that. But so Jack grew alongside of us. John shattered that weekend. He could not withstand it. He is completely closed off. We cannot. He's heavy, heavy, heavy trauma. We can't even reach him. It's like he exists in an adamantium bubble, and we can't get his attention. Mimi seems to have a protective or subconscious connection with him. We're not sure what's going on there, but she kind of seems to speak for him at some points. But John, Jack, and Mimi were created all on one weekend, and so there's those. So Jack is our libido. He grew up along with us. He's everything sexual. He's the let's get it on, baby. He enjoys what he does. He's that sounds arrogant, but he's very good at what he does because they made sure that we would be very good at what we did. So he's our libido, and it's kind of a constant fight with him because he wants to do all the nasty stuff that's related to our trauma, and we're not comfortable with that, and we're still dealing with incorporating our sexuality with the system and whatnot, and it's just tough. Yes, hello, Chocho. So there's that. Okay, so we've covered John, Jack, Mimi, Bootstraps, Arielana. I think we've touched all on them so far. If we've missed any, we're sorry, but we've got cat meowing and we're kind of got sidetracked. So Karen, hopefully that gives you the rundown. Just go back and view our previous videos, like on the altars. Susie came out recently, so she's not going to be on there, and neither will Christopher D, because he's just kind of a blank spot. We're still worried. That's the area where we're still okay. We're not sure what's going on. But that's the system. Most of the time you'll see me and Data and I up front. If I start to say I a lot, that's because I'm speaking for me, Christopher, but we do use the we as well. So Kendra, absolutely not an insensitive question. Hopefully that kind of fills you in on who we are. And we're about just a little over 3 years into our diagnosis, so we're still kind of at the beginning of the journey compared to other systems, but here we are. Hi. So because we basically saw that there were not a lot of older systems on YouTube, and definitely not many male systems. So we decided to go, hey, our experience is unique. What the hell? Let's throw this out there, and maybe it'll help folks. So yeah. Okay, let's see. Ellie saying, I also thought you were both Cajun, and still saw the different colored greens and the names. Witchy needs to dash off. Hope to be back before you finish. If not, sending Witchy hugs, loves, blessings to all. You might be back by now, if not, but be safe. Okay. Blue Rose, very glad that you didn't take away Mimi's voice. It helped us in an unforeseen way, as we already commented on her video. Yeah, you're welcome. It's like I said, it's scary as hell letting go those reins, and it's scary for us. For me. Stargirls, Kendra, I think there's a vidway at the back of the beginning of the channel. I'd look for that. Yeah, it's okay. It's there. Like I said, guys, new folks, go back and look back at our previous content, because we put out a lot. There's a lot of information there. We've got them all arranged in playlists, basically, to make it easy for you. But don't be afraid to necropost or ask questions or anything. So yeah, let's see here. Ellie, I also want to meet with Dad who divorced Mom. I want to forgive him too. I think about that, and this gets weird passing out feeling. Can't go further without thinking about it. Then trust your body and your reactions, because if there's something there, your body probably remembers it. But again, like we were saying earlier, try not to look for something that may not be there. And we know that this feeds into the whole denial, but use that. Have I got the symptoms? Yeah, so don't go looking for trouble, but don't ignore your gut either. Let's see. Stargirl saying, yeah, Leo's just worried I went too far. Nope. Ellie, that's not good. Sounds like a dissociation thing to me, but I'm not sure. Yes, absolutely. Grace to Grow. Was so glad to see Mimi. Thank you for being more liberal in editing. You did a good job balancing, private things, all things considered. Thank you. I really do try. Cajun out of water. I have 8 baby Yodas. I think there's more, honey, but I don't know. Probably. There's a plethora. What do you call a group of baby Yodas? Would that be a Yodai? Let's see. Blue Rose. Kate, if it's not too much, can we... okay. Oh, here we go. Blue Rose, at Cajun out of water. If it's not too much, can we ask how you feel about Mimi's videos? We're going to scroll down, but we're not sure that she's seen it yet. She hasn't had a lot of time. But we'll find out in a second here. Ellie's saying, I think it is a thing about the dissociation. I think that we can't pass over seeing him again because he just left and we barely saw him until age 18. And then after that, he's like, you can't sleep here anymore. Before that, it was once a month from age 8 to age 18. Yeah, too much at play there. Hopefully not. Ellie's so sorry that's so rude and cruel. 1 weekend a month and then back home again to abuser. Shit. Kendra McClure, thanks at Story Girl. Wow, that's rough. Okay, Grace to Grow. My Dio's grumpy has a very high, very high level set of signals he watches for when visiting his mom, and we are in agreement that regardless of whatever is in progress, we'll pack and leave immediately if those surface. Good for you. Thank you for supporting him in that way, because we have basically cut out our egg donor before finding out what we were at, but it can be very difficult to deal with that. Okay, let's see. Naomi saying, sorry, but given the headache and that I'll have to wake up early tomorrow, I need to get to sleep. Hope everyone stays safe. Naomi, get some rest. Be safe out there, please. And yeah, for goodness sake, you didn't have to type in all that. Thank you, but take care of yourself first. Owie. And we hope that your eye gets better next time that we talk to you. I was going to say see you, but we don't see you. Okay, Art T says, 100% can relate to having a couple of parts it's harder to step back for. One, because she scoffs at the poofy cloud of mystery. Others of us try to keep around our inner thoughts and working. I like that. Blue Rose, bye Naomi. I hope you feel better soon. Cajun Out of Water is difficult. Okay, she did watch it. It was difficult to watch. I hurt for Mimi and I hurt for my husband. There was a lot that I'd not heard before either, and I've been there with him during his... Sorry. Thank you, honey. Just push hard, it's tacked. Just be careful not to show your face on camera. Sorry, he's here to hug me, guys. Just a sec, please. Thank you. No, if you'd watched it, we didn't want to get up and do some dirty everything, and it's like, how the hell do we even talk about that anyway?
I watch all of this. I watch all of them.
We honestly didn't know that you were in the chat. Here we are complimenting you and going on about how teachers work so hard, and you're there listening to us the whole damn time.
Do you want me to make you some tea?
Yeah, actually, there's probably still part of the cup there in the little teapot. I don't think we drank it all, but yeah, if you want to make us another cup, please. Thank you. I love you so much.
I love you too.
Got snot on your shirt.
The shirt can be washed.
All right, get back to these guys. We're breathing, we're breathing. I would just leave it, let it lie. We were doing it just mainly to support from life. Sorry, it's, you want to know what it's like when an EP kicks to the front? You just watched it. It's just that validation is just so important.
and that support. And she's just so wonderful for giving that to us. And I mean, part of it's because, we've been starved for that kind of support and affection. So every time it's just like, you're fine. We'll be all right. Just need to recenter. Thank you.
I love you.
Love you too. Yeah, don't worry about it. We were just mainly as a blanket for it. It's okay. Just let it drop. Yeah, so stubborn. And we love that about you. Okay. Where were we? Okay, Naomi saying, in the meantime, remember that each and every one of you is valid, strong, enough, appreciated, and loved, and deserve to be treated with respect and compassion. Lots of love. Thank you, Naomi. Oh, hopefully you're asleep by now. Art saying, think of it more as necessary filter for safety. Always a little nerve-wracking what she's going to say and to whom. Yeah, there's that worry and that fear surrounding control. And for us, for me, what if I don't come back? It's I live in fear that somebody's going to take over, more that there is a non-co or something that's suddenly going to snap to the front and take over and not know anything. I mean, maybe that's not rational, but yeah, Lord, do we feel you there, Art, for sure. Sorry, still re-regulating. Ellie, know the timeline of stuff, but not like the days or anything that happened or feelings left. Yeah. Ellie, sorry girl, saying that's the amnesia wall. It's protecting you. Don't poke it. Okay, just what Chris said. Stay strong. Yeah, absolutely. Don't poke people. Don't poke. Let's see. Blue Rose is asking, wife, do you go to therapy yourself to deal with it? If all, may we ask? She says, when we had a therapist, I would meet with her outside of sessions. She was wonderful with our family. And she was. She taught us a lot, and she was good for us, and we came far. It was just the ending was abrupt, and the following, oh, I can be your therapist again, but oh, the insurance doesn't take it, and just the whole not bothering to check that despite us warning her, it got to be too much. But yes, we do recognize everything that she did, and she was wonderful with the family, but a lot of the difficulties that we had it was just too much for everybody, too much for us, too much for the kids, too much for the wife. We were just, everything was just way off. So, which is why we appreciate her and the family all the more for being supportive. And also apologize because early on it was all we could do to, yeah, anyway, you guys know. Oh, let's see here. Ellie's saying, yeah, feeling more emotional the more that it's talked about. Yeah, stop if you want, can distract if you'd like. Starry Girl, thank you, Starry Girl, for being so supportive of Ellie. Thank all of you for being supportive of each other. Stepdad has been showing up in dreams again, but not every time has been upsetting. In the dreams, he's acting like a nice dad and doing things I want. I'm so confused about him while in dream. It will settle once we stop. Feels like this stuff needs to be talked about, though. And honestly, Ellie, you just simply may be remembering good things, but because you've been so accustomed to the abuse, you're suspicious of the good things because we don't get good things. We don't deserve good things. We get caught in this trap all the time. It's like if our wife will compliment us on something, we immediately, like we were talking again, it's like, what? Generally, we make a self-depreciating comment or something like that, rather than say, oh, you're welcome or something like that, because it's ingrained. It's a trap, it's like, but it's not a trap. So we're having to unwire ourselves about that. And she's just been so terribly patient with us. So yeah, Ellie, don't assume that it might be bad. This might be actually good things that are coming out of your subconscious. And your relationship with him. I mean, we can't speak purely for you, but it sounds like you're getting more positive than a negative reaction there. Let's see, Blue Rose is saying, asking because my husband has been thinking to go to therapy. He's also hurting because of all of our trauma and dealing with alters, especially with the males in our systems and some of the littles. Yeah, and I think that's something that gets overlooked, is how difficult it can be for family members to make that bridge that the person that you know, this body that you know, has definitely different people living in it, and some of them can be radically different from the person that you've gotten to know. It's essentially you're getting to know a whole new group of people. But it can, and particularly with the littles, it can be very challenging for them to make that bridging, that gap, and not judge. But yeah, it's because of the fact that you're blue, because your husband has actually been open to the idea of going in therapy. Encourage it. Yeah, that means that he's already halfway there. He's working on it. He wants to support you, it sounds like. So yeah, we think that would be a good thing. Wife is saying therapy is an excellent idea. I would highly advise it. Let's see. Starry Girl. Ellie, sounds like your mind is trying to remember things subconsciously, and maybe those nice dreams are good memories that you lost. I love you guys. Let's see. Ellie saying therapy is good for everyone, no matter what. Let's see. Ellie saying, how are there nice memories of him? Okay, let's see here. Wife is saying also encourage him to read books on trauma so he can better gain a perspective of where you're coming from. Let's see. Blue Rose is saying, yes, sometimes he joined sessions with our former therapist, but I think we could help if he got one just for him. Yeah. Let's see. Starry Girl. Ellie, they're usually good with the bad, or your brain is making new scenarios to make you feel safe. I don't know. I'm guessing. Yeah, that could be another valid thing. But it sounds like maybe things weren't so bad with this person, or I don't know. Yeah, it gets complicated, and we are definitely not experts, but seems to me. Okay, Roses, thank you very much for getting rid of the chat 69XYZ. Perfect example there for you new folks about what we do not tolerate, and just no fuss, no muss, instant ban. We don't generally get them. Baldwin retracted a message. Okay, we respect that, but you don't have to retract, guys. Okay, let's see here. Wife says, I will be honest, as a neurotypical, I will never understand what my husband is going through or how he sees the world, but reading and learning about DID and trauma has helped me to relate and cope. And we greatly appreciate the fact that you are here and still here and everything. We haven't touched on that with our viewers, so you know what we mean. Gonna start crying again. Okay. Yeah, at least. Bye-bye, chat 69. Bad butt. Rose, we got a butt. Yeah, they're gone already. Sorry about that, guys. We do get a few. And also, guys, as particularly you who may be rewatching the stream who weren't here live, give it a good 6 to 12 hours before you watch, because generally we get 1 or 2 butts that enter into the comments section, and give us 24 hours to delete them. Don't worry, we see them. Don't click on any links or anything that you may see in there, and don't worry, we will exterminate them rapidly. So particularly Cotton Candy and friends, don't worry, we'll see them, we'll find them. Don't click on links, but we will get rid of them for you. Don't worry. Just don't click on any links in there. Okay. Let's see. Grace to Grow. I have a sweet spot for my Dio's Grumpy too. I doubt he has a sweet spot for me, but we have a mutual trust. But he's very bossy Ray Annie house projects. Yeah, kind of sounds like that. Okay. Oh, saying bye. Okay, let's read that. Roses polishes hammer. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you again, Roses, for doing that. Gratefully appreciate it. Let's see here. Rose is saying their husband is being very supporting, been with us therapy, read books, etc. Excellent. Bashy the butt. Let's see. Wife is saying, I do get along with Bootstraps very well. I've been making him take time to relax instead of always fixing things. And he may not admit it, but I can tell you he does greatly appreciate that. And yeah, he's you deal with him very well. And I can't say anything more because he's okay. Yeah. Anyway, he's fond of you as well. Ellie's saying I feel split and not all here, little and big at the same time. Yeah, that's blending in the front. The fog, as we call it. Ellie, do you need to ground? Yeah, that might be a good idea. Wife is saying, John will respond to me, but he is nonverbal and very scared. I let him play with blocks when he's out. Yes, that's right. There was that one time when he fronted and you said that he was out and he talked to you, which greatly surprises us because, yeah. But yay, good thing. Grace to grow at wife. So far, the only way I can encourage that with Grumpy, trying to give him more positive fronting experiences so it's not always a fight, giving him time to play chess online and Xbox games. Let's see, Ellie's saying, I kind of find if someone else is fronts because it's always me. It's really rare that someone fronts, so I would give them time out. We think we see what you're saying. Star Girl is telling her to breathe. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, the wife is saying, Grace Presso is movie night watching Rambo. Yeah. That's what he wanted to watch. No accounting for taste, I guess. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Percival, don't forget him. Oh, yes, Lisa. I'm sorry. Percival. And Nigel. Yeah. Sorry, we got sidetracked. Going back, Karen. Percival is a positive interject. So also is Nigel. Percival embodies our love of literature and classical music, although that's kind of a shared thing between Data and Percival. Where was I? Percival, he does the little stories where he reads stories for the littles in the safe space, which is just check out the videos. They're called Little Stories. We've probably got about a dozen, maybe 13 of them so far. What we wanted to do and what he wanted to do was create a regular, dependable safe space for littles to go to have a place, because there's no other content for littles that we noticed. So actually through a series of happy accidents with you guys, our viewers, and his inclinations to do that with his time anyway, it became Little Stories, where we create the safe space, and there's little bits with Mr. Bear where he'll give the intro and talk to the littles directly. The whole thing basically is kind of like a Mr. Rogers neighborhood for DID littles. He does a very set thing at the beginning, and then he'll read the story, and then at the end he wraps it up with a moral or a lesson that generally is focused on helping intersystem communication and communication between alters, and getting the littles to communicate more with the older brothers and sisters. So there's that. That's Percival's thing. He does also read more adult things. We've got The Forgotten Door, which is a wonderful novella. We're kind of proud of the job that we did on that. We're actually going to re-release a final version of that with a few added sound effects and whatnot in the beginning, because I think it was right around chapter 4 or 5 that we started introducing the various sound effects and things to increase the immersion. So those earlier episodes don't have that, even though they're still pretty good. But we do want to re-release that. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and literally splice the whole thing together, so it will be an uninterrupted audio book. So the originals will still be up there if you want to, catch Percival's bits or do it in that episodic format. But we figured for folks who just want to listen to the whole thing in one big long swoop, we're going to go ahead and literally edit it together and put some timestamps in there so for each chapter, so it can be a continuous experience. So that's Percival. Nigel is another positive interject. He is Percival's partner. They are a couple, and actually Percival fronted once, and it's on the live stream list here, and went over how they met and everything. Nigel is fairly passive. He hangs out in the background. His thing is he's kind of a rough and tumble kind of guy. He's kind of like the Percival is all very prissy and precise and everything, and Nigel's just kind of the common man. Hey, let's have a pint at the pub type of guy. He's content most of the time to hang out with Percival. He hasn't chosen to front on the channel yet. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, but it's like Bootstraps hasn't chosen to. Everyone has an open invitation. So sorry guys, we forgot you too. So yeah, there's the other more alters for you there, Karen. So and what they do. Okay, so back to here. Thank you, Lisa, for catching that. Oh, we feel so terrible. Okay, Ellie's talking. I think this is someone switching anyways. Don't know. Usually it only gets so far and then rubber bands back to me. Blue Rose, yes, when your husband talked about Bootstraps needing time to watch a movie, this is talking to our wife, that was eye-opening for us, that others also needed time out for relaxing instead of being needed for errands or odd jobs. Yeah, and that had simply never occurred to us. a time of extreme stress for the system and the family, he let it be known to her when they were on a drive in the car that, by the way, could you please tell them I would appreciate a little time out? And it was just like, jaw on the floor. Never even occurred to us that he would want time out, or any of the others really, but particularly him. And so he set up the movie night with wife, and they sat down and watched Rambo 1 and 2, maybe, I don't remember, but he had a good time, and he's been out since then, and it actually helped to calm him down a lot. He's much less of an asshole now. So he actually has a rough charm to him, I guess. Anyway. So the Blue Rose, totally. Okay, no, can't forget Percival and Nigel. She's chiding us. Let's see. Grace to Grow saying movie nights 2, John Wick for us. Never seen John Wick. Suggest that to him next time he's out. We'll pass it along. Don't know. I know we've never seen it. So, yeah. Let's see. Kendra is saying that their husband loves John Wick. Okay, let's see. Grace to Grow saying little is only verbal in intimate or panic moments. Otherwise, middle speaks for him, like if he's really upset inside. It took years for my Dio to hear little. Yeah, and they can be very quiet. And they can also be very rambunctious. Susie. Girl scares the crap out of us. Oops. What did I just do? I'm not sure. Okay, let's see. Blue Rose says, husband developed a really good relationship with one of our male sister members playing Xbox too. Cool. Oxymoron off for a little while. Hope to be back soon. Let's see. Okay, now we're caught up to where I lost it. Wife says, honey, I watch all your videos. It may not always be on the day you post them, but I do watch them. Let's see. Sorry Girl saying that we're perfect for each other. I can tell. She's been tremendously patient and really played the long game in our relationship, because it's a long story how we met, but we were just less than a year out of losing our first wife, and love smacked us in the face again. And you know it when you feel it, but she was willing to go through all of that to help us go through all of our grief, to be endlessly patient with our constant instability. I mean, it makes sense now, but we feel terror, now knowing that it was different alters, why we would, it's like, oh, we never said that, or we expressed a preference for something this way, and she's bending over backwards trying to, accommodate us and make us happy and whatnot, not knowing what she walked into. And, it's, of course, all of this makes sense now. We still feel terrible about it, because unknowingly putting her and the kids through so much, and it's just, we are so grateful that we can't express it, because every time we start to, the peas rush to the front, and living life without her would shatter us beyond repair. Don't think we could deal with that. We'd go bye-bye, inside, never come back out again. That we would end up in one of those places we've been avoiding. Sorry. Grace to Grow, truly love the good love you guys share. Thank you for letting us see that. As a couple, you guys really have blessed us with your story. Thank you guys. Ellie saying, think about me and boyfriend when I burst out with emotions as well. I know that feeling so much. When he cares about me and I don't deserve the love. And we have to tell ourselves that we do deserve it. And that's hard, because it goes against everything that we were told and everything that we were taught. This is what you are, and you'll never be more than this, and you're not worth it, on and on and on. And it's so hard sometimes to realize that love is unconditional. And yeah, it's so that's something that you have to work on as well. Let's see here. But you do deserve the love, and we do as well. Hearts from everybody, thank you. Sorry, girl, I'm a single Pringle, because really, single Pringle, I love that. What a great phrase. Thank you, Starry Girl. There's our laugh for the day. Oh, that's great. Relationships are scary to me. Yeah, they are. Let's see, Blue Rose, thank you for both for showing your love for each other. Ellie, everyone deserves love. Yes, absolutely. Stop apologizing for being human. Don't worry, Blue is a good question. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. Let's see. Ellie had a realization the system is like Minesweeper, where the bombs are triggers and so easy to hit, tiptoeing on eggshells. Yeah, it can feel that way. As you move on and you become more, uh-oh, I see another bot popping up. Yeah, geez, this one's persistent. Roses, if you'd please kill that thing. Channel ban them if you can. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, it's a perfect analogy. Yeah, absolutely. It gets a little clearer where those trauma bombs may lie as you move on, but yeah, there's always going to be something there that it's like with Mimi telling us things that we didn't know. Let's see here. So true. Mind is booby trapped to hell and back. Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of being loved, boyfriend is getting his dad's job. We think so. It may have a part-time job soon as well. That is situated. Excellent. More good news there. Ellie, that's amazing. It's great. And this brings up a point, particularly for Starry Girl and you, Ellie, as we go, and we've noticed this in ourselves. It's not only the negative or stressful things in your life that can trigger those patterns and trigger the flashbacks and whatnot, but also the positive events can as well. Dealing with positive triggers can be just as confusing and difficult as dealing with the negative ones. So we get it coming and going. But yeah, the things that are going right and the good things that are coming into your life right now, your brain and your programming is going, this is a positive thing. Good things don't happen to us. I can't trust this, So again, we're like we were talking about earlier, you're still constantly on edge because this is the way that you've been programmed. We can't trust anything because anything good is a trap. It's like, and letting down that walls is, hard work. So hard. But yeah, so just a thought, keep that in mind. Worried about doing things right, though. Yeah. Again, that's the trauma reaction. Fixers fix everything, because that evens the environment out. Oh, okay. Messaging Maldwin saying was just about the spammer. It was dealt with by the wonderful mods. Yes. Let's see. Ellie saying programming job, and I don't trust our coding being good, and somehow he trusts us. Then listen to him. We always underestimate ourselves. Ellie, you're probably far better at coding than you think. Have a little, trust yourself a little. You'll surprise yourself. We have. It's tough to do, but look at the channel. Look at little stories. We were just as scared starting out. It's hella scary to put yourself out there, but it's a positive step forward. And yeah. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, Ellie, Kendra, right off the bat, you never know what you're capable of until you try. Absolutely. Hope and joy, welcome. Don't think we've seen you around. I'm finally being able to find you on a live stream, and I just wanted to explain how much I appreciate you. Thank you. You're most welcome. Welcome to the channel. Don't know how long you've been here. We're glad to have you. The live streams and the whole channel as a whole is kind of an open forum. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in a comment on whatever video you're watching, or you can DM us on Instagram or even send us an email. The links are in our channel bar thing. Data stuck them up there at some point. So yeah, we're very open. We talk about things on the live streams. It's an open forum. Everybody shares their thoughts and experiences and supports each other. So the rules are mind your P's and Q's and don't spam and stuff, and you'll be fine. So again, welcome. And you're most welcome if our experiences and the information that we've shared has helped you in any way, shape, or form. Yay. So yeah, welcome, Hope and Joy. Nice, good name too. Let's see, LA saying it's going to professional companies once done, so I just, my code getting out in the world is anxiety inducing. It's like art, we're perfectionist. It's never going to be good enough or perfect enough, and you have to learn to step back and let those Persian flaws be there. Boyfriend said he is going to be looked over so many times to remove bugs before it goes out. Yeah, exactly. Listen to your boyfriend. He's supporting you. Ellie, that makes sense. It's valid and real. Absolutely. Oxymoron, welcome back. Had a hard day, quite tired, can't concentrate well at the moment. I will keep listening, but night might not be following the chat that closely. That's fine. You guys know, just chill. Spindle, howdy all. Oh my God, Cat. Hi, Cat. Yes. Spindle, good to see you. We got all the old timers popping in here. Old time viewers, not that you guys are old. I mean, we don't know, but demographics say no, but let's see. Spindle, hope you're feeling better, Infinity. I know there's medical stuff going on last time. Yeah, still going on. TLDR is that we're still waiting for our surgery because our blood potassium levels were too low to undergo anesthesia. So we've been dealing with the pain and some invisible person trying to pull out our Achilles tendon with a pair of red hot pliers on a daily basis. We had one last night that we were just bent over gasping, and wife's like, "What's wrong?" And we're like, "It's our ankle." As we're like, "Ew." So hopefully within the next, it's probably going to be like 3 weeks from now. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Spindle, laugh out loud at explaining Nigel. He's just a guy, a lad. Dude, yeah, it's Nigel, you know, it's like, let's see here. Lisa, okay, something I've always wondered. Intimacy with a DID person, do they always have to initiate closeness? Or is the partner able to be aware of who is fronting? Is it awkward at times? We're going to scroll down to see if wife answered this one before we open our mouths. Okay, yes. Let's see. Okay. Wife is saying to Lisa, that's a bit of a loaded question. Sometimes I don't always catch the shift. Usually I know when my husband is fronting, I married the core. The others are more like roommates. The littles are more like my students, and I treat them as I would my students. I give them boundaries and make sure they're safe, is the best way I could think of to describe it. Starry Girl likes that. It makes sense. Yes. Yeah, Bud is gone. Thank you. Okay, so yeah. She kind of glossed over some of it. Okay, so something about intimacy with the DID person. Do they always have to initiate closeness, or is the partner closeness? Or is the partner able to be aware of who is fronting? Is it awkward at times? Yes, it is awkward for us, and we do not ask for. We've covered this before briefly, and this is one of the most frustrating and painful aspects of DID for us. Is you become, because of the trauma programming and just everything that you've been through, the times when you need comfort and contact and a hug the most, you can't, or at least we can't ask for it. It's like there is this invisible barrier, an invisible gag over our mouth that we cannot overcome. It's almost like an actual physical impediment. And inside we're screaming, please, we need a hug, or we just need contact, or we just need something. Just touch us to let us know that we're real, that we're still alive, that you still love us. But we can, and we had this very problem before we were even diagnosed. And our wife made us two things, you know, as stars and hearts out of paper, and we would just hand it to her whenever we need it. And unfortunately, again, we did not make good use of it. We were trying very hard, but part of it is the trauma victims. You are on your own. You have to deal with this because they've taught us isolation. It's been forced into us, but yeah, it's very difficult. It's very difficult, and we imagine, we don't want to put words into her mouth, but we imagine that it's been frustrating sometimes when she goes to be affectionate and we freeze, because we cannot help it. It is an involuntary bodily reaction. Being close and being touched, even though we're craving it like a plant needs water, the body is still going, this might be a threat, and the brain is going, no, it's not. We love this person. We are safe for them. So we are forever caught on this terrible seesaw teeter-totter of needing that contact and needing that love and needing the affection and just to hold hands or cuddle or be close and not being able to ask for it. And it's maddening, and it's frustrating, and it has driven us privately to tears more than once, because which feeds into the guilt, blame, shame spiral. It's like, And part of it is also not wanting to intrude or make others deal with your condition. And we know that Roses can attest to this, because they've said that they deal with the same thing. It's so difficult to describe, because you're just crying out for it, but you can't ask for it. And if they come to you, then you have these bodily reactions, and you tense up, and you're sending this message bodily that can be difficult, or we would imagine, because we try to put ourselves into her place and see how she reacts to things, which generally leads us astray, because we have this perceptual box that we live in, and we lack social cues. And one of the biggest things that trips us up is we'll get this chain of events and story, and we're telling ourselves in perception in our head that isn't true at all. But we can't see it. But I mean, wife and I have been married for almost 10 years now, and it has, to get back to her playing the long game, it has taken us this long to finally get our shit together somewhat, even though our whole universe exploded, and really begin to appreciate her and give her the love and attention and just us that she deserved from square one. So yeah, see, we do eventually come back to the point. So yeah, Lisa, hope that answers your question from both perspectives now. But yeah, it's an absolutely terrible conundrum. And also part of that is, and oftentimes the minute that she'll touch us or give us a hug or something, the EPs will instantly come welling up, because they've identified her as safe, figure, love, cuddle, and just want to cry. And it's like, like you just saw not long ago, we just completely lose it. So yeah, let's see. Spindle saying, that's beautiful. If I may be so bold, maybe your first wife nudged your current one your way from beyond. I don't know. Like to think, I don't know. With her, it would be less of a nudge and more just a boot straight to the head. But anyway, maybe, don't know. Best adult dating site. Yeah, yeesh, Bud is gone. Indeed not. Okay, scrolling down. Yes, let's see. Let's see. Sorry, girl, saying, Chris, that's true. As I say, I'm nervous-sighted, nervous excited. Yeah, single Pringle, though. That's awesome. Okay, let's see. Wife answered yes. Makes sense. I love that. Best way I can think of to describe it. How about a while just in the background? Thank you. Not at all. I know that we've got lurkers here. Oh, it just did that weird thing where it cuts out. But it shows us you're live again, but the stream never dropped. I don't know why YouTube does that. Okay, so let's see. Oops. Okay, Blue Rose is also answering Lisa. It's a good question. We're still navigating this. Intimacy can be very triggering for us, even if we initiate it. So we can't really answer that yet, but we're hopeful to reclaim that. Let's see. Ellie's saying, had food and focus is going downhill. Go rest. Yeesh. Go rest, Ellie. Breathe. Self-care. Re-regulate. Cajun Out of Water asks for who initiates. In order to help my husband feel safe, I let him initiate. We know, but to be dead honest, honey, we would just love it if you would just grab us and hug us unexpectedly. Honestly, because like I said, a lot of the times we just can't ask. We want to, and we're begging, and we're crying, and it's generally when we're wandering around at night trying to figure out what to do. I'm in the middle of all of them, and it's just like, oh, I would give anything just for them to shut the. Anyway, but we're speaking purely of physical intimacy and cuddling. Sex is another thing altogether, which we're avoiding here. But yes, there is also that, because that's a whole thing. As in, but yeah, we deal with that with let's see, learning to love again. So go see that video because everything that we said there is 1000% applicable. Surprisingly so much, because we've experienced actually a lot of the things that we cover in that video now years later. Okay, so let's see. Yes, they're telling Ellie, please take care of themselves. For us, when little, I see boyfriend more as a daddy and want cuddles. Yeah, because we never had a good dad both times. Christopher sees our wife as a giant blueberry, comfy, squishy, huggy person. That's how he sees her. I don't know why. She thinks it's cute, which is good. Okay, let's see. Spindle, oh my gosh, your wife is here. Yes, had no idea. Hello, wife, and neither could we at the beginning. Because Infinity, how could you gloss over that? That's so cool that you're here. Did you know you're awesome? Because you're awesome. Yes, please, thank you. Tell her because she is. We didn't know at first because we were just doing our thing, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, wife is in the chat. It was like, let's see here. His wife has been here the entire time the stream that you're aware of. Yep. We agree Spindle Wife is awesome. I got here late, so I didn't know. It's okay. Also very open and helpful, which is very appreciated. Sorry, Cajun, out of order, talking about you like you're not there. She says, you're fine. Cajun, is it bad to say he might need another hug? Not bad to say that at all. It's okay. She'll hug us after we're done, I know. Lisa, wow, thank you for your vulnerability and honesty. Not at all, but I know he'll cry again and need a few minutes, so I will be there for him when he's finished. Yeah, exactly. She knows us so well. We're grateful. Probably knows us better than we know ourselves. Poor woman has been looking at us from outside of our box of terrible trauma perceptions going, hi. Okay, so let's see. Oh, God, this bot is just insanely dedicated today. That's what I always do. I'll let them know I'm there and willing and let them take the next step for that hug. Unexpected is so needed for us. Yeah, exactly, Ellie. I'll remember that. Yeah, oh, yeah. Sex is a whole other different thing. Yeah. Okay, Spindle. Also, the Mimi video almost snuck by me. I caught it the other day. Glad she got a chance out and the system didn't nitpick her too much. Wanted to suggest maybe watching some 80s reruns. We've actually been doing that off and on. It can be tough to find some of the shows that she identifies with because it was basically 1980 to 1984. And television at that time was really spotty, and particularly what she watched or what we were interested in, which we've found out diverges significantly from what we thought. But yeah, I mean, it's like we had no idea that she was so much into Peter Murphy until she made the playlist. And it's like, wow, I don't remember listening to this. You know, it's like, oh yeah, this is my jam. It's like, okay, whatever. Junior high is a blank. She's like, I was there. It's like, it's a blank. Okay, so let's see here. So yeah, Spindle, absolutely, and yeah, Mimi's video was heavy. We talk about that in the beginning part of the stream, but no, we did not nitpick her, and she was not punished in any way, shape, or form. We upheld our end of our rules that everybody has can change the channel as an open space. Were we happy that she went, woo, here's the trauma and basically all of it, because I'm going to test whether or not you're a hypocrite. You going to edit this out later on? And it's like, no, I'm not. Despite the fact that, yeah, it made me squirm. Hardcore. Believe you me. But no, she has an equal say. She has an equal voice, and that's what she wanted to talk about. So, yeah, there that is. Spindle, like, surely you haven't seen every piece of media from the 80s. You know, there are so many TV shows and movies. You would be surprised. Because TV was one of our escapes when he wasn't having it locked down with the shows that he liked to watch. It was one of our escapes. We had our regular set routine, but anything with a whiff of science fiction or fantasy that came out, we watched it. I mean, how many of you remember Automan, for example? Or how about The Phoenix? Or let's see, what would be another good one? Manimal. Yeah, anything that had a whiff. Tales of the Brass Monkey. I mean, I'm throwing out some obscure ones here, so you would be surprised. But yeah, then there's stuff out there that we haven't watched, you know, like Dynasty and all that. We were never into that, but we'll look around. Yeah, very persistent, but okay, there. Hello, Cotton Candy. Yeah, don't worry. We've been fighting this. Roses is all over it. Just ignore it. Don't click on any links. We've been bot attacked today. Spindle saying, yeah, I know that had to be rough. For us, not for her. To her, it's like she's talking about the weather. It's like, oh yeah, da 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 da. I think it was, is it Christian? Forgive me, I can't remember who it was that commented that poor child and her cynicism. It's like, yeah, you want to talk about hardcore cynic. That's to her, it's just all of the trauma was just, meh. Yeah, it happened. Here's what it was. Here's what I did. What else do you want to know? So that's Mimi. Which in itself obviously has to be a psychological defense, a barrier that she uses that matter of fact and cynicism to shield against what she had to do, what she chose to do for us, which was no small feat. So yeah, Spindle, definitely. Just calm yourself, Cotton Candy. We have mods. We're over it. It happens. We cannot prevent it, but we do eliminate it as quickly as possible. So breathe, look away from the screen. Let's see. Roses is saying unexpected experiences of unsafety were so prevalent growing up as a DID system that unexpected experiences of intense safety as adult are extremely important for rewiring. Yeah, you reread that about 3 times, guys, because she's speaking truth there. The Roses have been dealing with their DID for over 16 years now, so we kind of defer to them for a lot. They've been very gracious with sharing their knowledge. Yeah, LA saying, sorry, no way to stop the bots because they keep replacing with a new account. And it's an automatic thing. So, yeah, let's see. Scroll yourself up in chat. Protect yourself first, Spindle is saying. Yeah, I can't find a way to channel ban the thing. I keep having to time it out and report. All right, let me see if I can do something on my end here. I said remove. Let's try. We're going to report them anyway. Okay. Yeah, it's the best I can do. Yeah, for every bot that they knock down, there's another one waiting to come in, and unfortunately, it's just one of the hazards of doing live streams. So, let's see. Yeah, the butts are disgusting, particularly on a stream like this. But and I know that there seems like there's a correlation there, but there really isn't. We could be streaming about Legos, and we would still get the damn porn butts. It's just a matter of fact. Unfortunately. Yeah, let's see. Thought to you speaking to us for a second. We are the Candy Collector. Oh no, sorry, Ellie. I was talking with with Cotton Candy and friends there. Let's see. Mimi sounds like how we say things with trauma. I know. Yeah, it's just very matter of fact. It's like talking about the weather. Oops, that's a bit confusing. Sorry, no problem. Thank you. Okay, Cotton Candy saying thank you, Chris, and y'all. No problem. Maldwin, using the automated filter section given on the community page of your YouTube channel setting, you can block any comment that includes a link. Data is imprinting this. Automatic filters, community page, settings, community page, automated filters. Okay, thank you, Maldwin. We will go ahead and do that after the stream. Thank you very much, because YouTube has so many damn settings that we don't know about half of them. So we do appreciate you guys who are more knowledgeable letting us know. Okay, settings, community, automated filters. We will do that right after the stream. Thank you, Maldwin. Okay, yeah, wife is saying that. Just wanted to let you know. Absolutely. Yeah, we are Ellie, so it's fine. Maldwin, always happy to help. Absolutely. Okay, let's see. Where are we on time? We are at about 2 hours here. And unless I miss my guess, the phone is about to crap out on. Yep. Same thing. All right. So if any of you have any final questions for us or for wife, since she's here on the stream and willing to share her perspective and answer questions, please take advantage of the opportunity. We'll go ahead and give it about maybe another 10-15 minutes before we close out. So feel free to ask questions or whatnot. We are going to finish our, well, what was our smoothie? Fruit foam. You know, actually, that sounds pretty good. Fruit foam for all your foamy needs. No, watch somebody come up with it. Okay. Oh, yes. Tea. Forgot. Okay, so let's see. Ellie, good talks, bunch of emotional stuff. Yeah, well, this is how the streams can go. Sometimes we'll just talk about nothing, and other times we get into the hot, into the the heavy stuff. Which is fine, which is why we do this the way that we have. Several of you have mentioned this kind of serves as a monthly, not therapy session, but get together, and we're glad that we can all support each other. This is why we love you guys and run the live streams this way. So it's not about us; it's about you. Because everybody's got a piece of the puzzle, and DID is so individualized. It definitely helps. Okay, let's see here. Malden saying no questions. You both are just amazing, and so is this community. We're struggling to get therapy right now, so being here literally what you're saying. Yeah, we still can't find a therapist either, so there's a lot of people struggling. Believe you me. Let's see. Rose's fruit foam is totally a thing in molecular gastronomy. Okay. Wife is saying there's been a shortage of qualified therapists, especially since the pandemic. Yeah, exactly. Ellie's saying it really feels like therapy. Cool. But keep in mind, okay, obligatory disclaimer. We are patients. We are not stable. We are mentally ill, and we are not professionals or qualified to give professional advice. So take everything that you say or see or read on this channel, despite how well data researches it and does give you guys real data. Don't take it as verbatim advice, okay? It's not. Not professionals. We are patients. We are unstable. More than you think, and we are still mentally ill. So not experts, not doctors. Thank you. Just want to make that clear. Because I've seen other channels get caught up in the whole, oh, I'm an educator thing. You're trotting on a slippery slope there. And just in general, we're not commenting on one specific channel for you guys to think. Okay, so let's see here. Wife is saying, wish you luck in your search. Absolutely. Lisa, enjoyed the chat. Really looking forward to catching up every month. Absolutely. We're glad to catch up with you guys too. Hugs to you and Cajun. Absolutely. Maldwin, yeah, there's a therapist shortage here in Scotland, everywhere. Rosa's saying, yeah, my wife had finally found a therapist who worked with DID systems, and then she had to close her practice because the plague. Yeah, that was, we remember you telling us about that. Thank you to wife. Oh, no more old therapist. Ellie's saying we have a therapist, but this DID stuff is not really something they're qualified for, but still working through it with. They are a trauma therapist, though. At least there's that, yeah. Yes, very helpful and informative. Blue Rose says, thank you, Cajun, for answering our questions. It was really nice having you here. Yes. That sucks at Rose's rant. Spindle, I wish more people would say the unstable patient part. Sharing information is valuable, but doesn't make you a professional. No, it doesn't. And like I said, we source our material. Okay, if it's educational or whatnot, data has crossed his T's and dotted his I's. And we always provide links. You want to check up on us and you can, make sense out of the gobbledygook, feel free. But we have wanted to make that abundantly clear from the very beginning, and it's in our details and in the description of every single one of our videos. We're not experts. Don't take us as this. We're patients. We're unstable, and don't self-diagnose. Get professional help, or at least try to. If not, make the best with what you can, but no, we're not experts. We're patients. So yeah, Spindle, absolutely, and that's just utter honesty. It's these are the facts, It's like that's what it is, truth. So let's see. Cajun, wife is saying you're welcome, Blue. It's not often I have time to join the live stream. I usually watch them later on. Yeah, and we can't blame you for sidetracking those stupid educational videos for a while. Okay, guys, it looks like everybody is all questioned out and whatnot. We will go ahead and close it out now. And like I said, hopefully, knock on wood, coming up this within the next week or two, we will have part 2 of Shadows or Echoes of Darkness. We will have the explanatory on what sleep paralysis is and what causes them, the night terrors and things. Data is, like I said, it's already done. He's got all the research. The script is bullet pointed out. We just have been unable to find the energy and time to do it with everything else going on. But we will do that. We still have one more little stories episode that is in the can. I just need to edit it, but we have to get these things out of the way first. And then we'll get on new for that. For you new folks, in the little stories, we have sheep on the wall, and each sheep has a little's name on it. So if your little would like to be a part of the safe space, drop their names in a comment, or Instagram us or DM us on Instagram, or shoot us an email or whatnot. It's not mandatory. And if some of you singlets out there would like to have a sheep as well, it's open, primarily for DID littles, but also for those who like it. And we've had a lot of singlets and older folks say that they like the little stories. So we do have one or more of those coming. So part 2, little stories, and then maybe something else. Rosemarie is starting to prep for her holiday episode, so we got that. Bootstraps needs to finish redoing the kitchen. So that's where we're at, but we do have the surgery coming up, hopefully, so that might put a shoe in the things. But like we said, we're going to be laid up after that, so we'll probably be producing content like, mad people. So that's all. So you guys, self-care, drink water, rest, and always remember, say it with us, you are loved, you are strong, and you are not alone. Okay? This is Chris, Data, and the rest of the Infinity System. Signing off. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Be well, everybody. Stay well. Self-care. Bye now.